So next up, we have Cynthia Marble. Cynthia is a community manager at Parkstone Enhanced Care. Over the last 35 years, her nursing career has led her to acute care, infection control, long-term care, and management. But her passion has really been long-term care, where over the last 10 years, she's worked with residents, families, and staff through the dementia journey and long-term care transition. She will tell us about Parkstone's Caring and Sharing group, which she started alongside social worker Carla Clark. So please welcome Cynthia.
Can I go back? Oh, there, back one more. Oh, well, this is fine. Hi, thank you for listening to me. And I'm going to tell you that I'm actually part of a acting troupe, so standing still is going to be really hard for me. So I want to tell you, because I'm going to probably dance around. If you can't hear me, just tell me. So our Caring and Sharing group was something that we had a dream. I'm not going to sing, although everybody at work wanted me to sing for you. But we had a dream. And why did we have a dream? We had a dream. Our teams have been doing a lot of gentle persuasive approach training. We had been talking to staff and talking to them about how to approach elders with dementia and how to help them. But you know what? We all came to the same conclusion. Sometimes families don't have that same training. And we were talking about it, and we always recognized that we needed to do more. Not only are they dealing with dementia, which is a lot of losses, they're also dealing with moving into a long-term care facility, which again is a lot of losses. So what we did is we decided that we needed to have a family, some kind of a family group. And Carla had been at another home for quite a few years, and she had done something like this. So together we came up with our dream called the Caring and Sharing Family Group. So it was easy. So if you've already decided, I'm probably fly by the seat of my pants kind of person. So we just picked a day, Thursday, the last Thursday of the month at 2 o'clock. We said, oh, let's book a room. So we booked a room just at the center. It's not at the building, it's just next door to the building. We thought then, because sometimes when you have things at the home, everybody comes. All the anything going on, the residents want to come, you serve tea and crumpets and you're in. So we thought, why don't we have it at the center? So that's what we did. We made a poster. It was very preliminary. Carla and I are really just sort of flying by the seat of our pants. And then we emailed the families. We talked it up to everyone we saw. Did you hear about our family support group? Then we planned an agenda. No, we didn't plan an agenda. On the 5 minutes before we left, we said, what are we going to do? So we got together in January for our first time. Sorry, I can't see that, so I'm trying to follow this. We got together in January for our first time, and we had 8 family members turn out. Family members, we had them from all over the building. And we had about 8 to 14 total throughout all the months. And this month we postponed till November 2nd. And they came to the families were saying, when's the next one? Can I come to the next one? And we were saying yes. So our group time was, we opened with our new guidelines, which we sort of put together. I'll go over those in a minute. We always start with a sharing question. So remember I said we didn't really plan? So I always said, well, what about an icebreaker? So Carla and I always thought of an icebreaker before we went. So you know what? That was the best thing we ever did. There was no agenda. We started with, share your best vacation. Share your best Christmas memory. Share your thing that you like to do on a Sunday afternoon. Whatever it was, share it. And it's amazing the joy, the happiness, the tears. People talked about the most amazing. Every single person that we had at our group talked usually about how their spouse and them used to do things, or how they used to do it with their dad, or how they did it with their sister, or how they did it with their friend, because it was open to friends as well. It was, the things that we learned were truly amazing. Our group time, we would always say, what would you like to talk about? They suggested things like end of life, palliative care. I read them the train story from GPA, and they said, is this gonna be sad? But you know what? They didn't find it sad at all. They were enlightened. They didn't know how their loved one with dementia was feeling, and it helped them. And they said, thank you for reading that, because it did help them. We had an article from a family member, one of our family members, and he said I could use his name, Tom. He brought an article about how dementia was going to be, there's going to be something that's going to come later on that's going to cure dementia. So he brought me this article research paper that was very, very long to our group to share with them. And you know what? The group are so kind. They all listen to everyone. Nobody interrupts anybody. They all listen. There's a hand on a lap if someone's having a hard time. There's a hug if they need it. Some other things that we did is one of our ladies, she told them all about all the support group, the Alzheimer's Association and how she's been getting support there. They talked about the Caregivers Association of Nova Scotia. They talked about so many things and helped each other. And one of the interesting things I wanted to share with you is one thing somebody said to me, and I found this really poignant. Since my wife came in here, my voice has changed. And a lot of the other spouses said, oh my goodness, you know, you're right. My voice has changed because I don't have anyone to talk to every day like I used to. And we all sort of went, you know, for a minute, but then somebody else came up with a laugh, and it's like everyone just participates, and it is so endearing to all of us. These are just some of our guidelines. I just added them because, oh, I went too fast. Sorry about that. Okay, there you go. So our group is sort of a hope that it will provide support and knowledge that they may need. We encourage participation at whatever level they're at. We don't, nobody has to talk if they don't want to, but let me tell you, they all vie for the chance to have a discussion and talk about it. The confidentiality, respect, monthly group focus, and leaving the group. Those are just some of the things. It's a one-pager sheet of kind of guidelines. And the one thing we do say, if you leave the group, we totally understand, feel free to leave the group, but Carla and I might follow you. And they all laugh and they say, no problem. You know, in summary, wow, I went faster than I thought. It's hard to say 14, because I could talk anytime. Our Caring and Sharing group has allowed the families at Parkstone to meet together, to listen, to share, to learn, to grow from each experiences and to encourage each other. Friendships and supports have been developed. Theirs are just a few. Family members stop me or Carla all the time and say, oh, I'm so glad we got together, I got to meet. Who knew that right beside them was another family member that was willing to talk to them or guide them? One of the poignant things we learned, somebody said at the last meeting that really stuck with me, and I know it stuck with Carla, she said, a wife, and she's 90 and her husband's 90, and she said, I came today and I just didn't want to be here. She said, I sat down, I knew I should be here, but he was just not having a good day. And she said, I had to get up and leave, I'm so sorry. And she sort of teared up, and everyone said, hey, we feel like that too. And they all supported each other. And she said, you know, I'm glad I did leave that day, or I think it was that day she actually left. And she said, I'm glad I left, but the guilt. She said, I have so much guilt. And everyone participated in the discussion. And I feel that we went over like 15 minutes that day because everyone was talking about it's okay to feel like that. And what can I do when I feel like that? We have lots of laughs. We have lots of cries. We have people driving each other home because they're taking Ubers, you know? And overall, I think I speak for Carla and I when I say that we have the greatest time. We've learned so much from our families, and they feel supported. And I hope we can continue to build it. And Marco said something to me, or I think he answered when I sent this through, and he said something about it's easily reproducible. It is. I encourage you to reproduce it. I have the guidelines, Carla and I, you can reach out. It is reproducible, and it just made such a difference. Like every day, Carla and I walk by people and they're like, hey, when's our next group? And all it is an hour of sitting and talking, but Carla and I don't rush. We just sit down and we listen, and they tell us what they want to talk about. Some of the things they want to talk about going forward are they want to know about different recreation activities that they could do. Someone stopped me and said, what can I do with my husband when I come to visit? So we're just not sitting and looking at each other. You know, so anything like that they bring, we try to find the information. Palliative care, they were really interested in that. Anything like that. Anyway, thank you. That is my presentation.